Boop bop beep bop, we're gonna make a Shotski. Deedly doo doo fitty boppy. These are Shotskis. You put a shot glass in here, fill it with your drink of choice, then you find 3 friends. I definitely have 3 friends here with me, they just didn't want to be on camera. Right, guys?
He's right, we're just camera shy.
And you take a shot. This bad boy is our guide for what we're doing today, which is take 2 pieces of 4x8 plywood and we're gonna turn those into about 16 Shotskis. So what we've got here is the very first prototype. That's why it's kind of beat up. It's not very well painted. And this was the first one. It was our test run. I think it's 5 feet long, about 5 inches wide. It's got 4 holes for shot glasses, and it's got these sick handles on the end, so you can really get a handle on it. Take a freaking shot. Also good for hanging on the wall. You know, put a screw in there. Hang it up. We're gonna have one that's our master pattern. So you're gonna see me make a pattern. And then we're going to shape the edges. We're gonna use a router. We're gonna use the drill. We're gonna order some gussets from McMastercar.com, shouts out. And then we're gonna sand these. Part 2 will be sealing, painting, priming. We'll see what happens. Let's get started. First order of business is to cut our big sheet of plywood into a shorter sheet of plywood. So we're gonna cut 3 feet off of this end. And we'll be able to get our 5-foot pieces and rip them down on the table saw. All right, we got our 8 Shotski blanks. Our next step is to take one of these and create our master Shotski, the master. So we're gonna take the one that we feel the most special about, and we're gonna create one, basically a template. Let's see, this one? How do you feel about this one being our master? Not great, not great, not great. What? I don't know, I just got a weird vibe. This one though, this is the one. Now we want this template to be as accurate as possible. We're gonna use this beautiful stainless steel ruler with all our little holes and perforations, like the makeup tutorials. Since this bad boy is 5 inches wide, we're gonna make a mark all the way up and down at 2.5 inches. So we take our tiny little mechanical pencil, we find our 2.5 inch mark, all the way up and down this bad boy. So right now I'm marking the center of this hole. And that was 2.5 inches down from the end. Okay, so our first shot hole is 11 inches from the very end. So we're gonna make our mark there. We found our center. Our next one is 25 inches from the end. And then we're gonna go 39 inches from the end. And then, just for fun, 53 inches from the end. So that's the center line of this end. All right, so we've got our 3 holes marked off. Now it's time to get the compass and make some circles. Put it right at our center point, and we put it on the edge. Put it there, and put it there. Oh, look at that, that's perfect. All right, so now that we've got all these holes marked out, we need to make our bigger holes. It's called a Forstner bit, and this is how you get these big holes. You can use this, or use a hole saw, which is for the bigger hole. Now, these have a tendency to get a little squirrely on you, so what I'm gonna do is drill myself a little pilot hole. What that is a little tiny hole that I can get really accurately in the center of where I want it to cut, so that these bigger boys can come in and follow that hole. Pilot holes, check. Let's make some bigger holes. We're gonna switch out our drill bits. Just flip her over. Coming from the other side, we've already got our hole. Very gently. Whoa, baby. Okay, now it's time for the big hole. Now, when you're doing this, be careful, because it has a tendency to kick and bite you. So just take your time, go slow, let the drill do the work. When we're doing this, in plywood especially, your teeth on your hole saw can tend to gum up because of this glue, and sometimes you gotta pull it out to clean your teeth out. Otherwise it'll start to burn. You don't want that. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut along this line with our handy dandy jigsaw. We're gonna use this disc sander to ease that edge right along that line to get it right up there with our pencil. Start out with 80 grit, probably work our way up to 220. wear protection.
Ow! This snapped me.
So we've got a beautiful pattern done, sanded, finished. I'm actually going to hot glue these pieces of wood to the table, nice and juicy. What these are doing, putting a gap between our workpiece and the table so that we don't have to keep moving our workpiece every time we want to drill something differently. We take our blank, make sure we're lined up good, good there, and good here. We're gonna get this drilled out. Make sure to keep your hole clean. Then you pull these bad boys out of here, and look, they each become new friends. Then we switch back to our Forstner bit, and we just do the same thing. And the cool thing is since this screw is what's pulling it through the wood, it leaves you with a 1/16 of an inch, and you just come in from the other side and you drill it out from there, so you don't get any tear up. And so we have our hole on the back side. You come in ever so gently. You gotta really make sure you're holding the drill so it doesn't jump on you. Just like that. And that is ready to be routed. It's a new dawn, it's a new day. It's also a new camera lens because impulse purchases make the world go around. So hopefully you like the new look, the new, like, is that not cool? Sorry, I was doing a new lens stance, I didn't know that wasn't. We've got our pattern here. The only thing left to do as far as shaping these is to get the round on this edge, just like what the pattern has. And I have a special tool that's gonna help us with that. Router time. It's probably one of the most dangerous tools in your wood shop. The scariest thing in the world is pulling router bits out of their little holes. This is Diablo, half-inch diameter, 1-inch cut length, flush trim bit with 3 flutes. This is a flute. That's how the material comes out. This is going to help us because we're gonna take our pattern, clamp it below our workpiece, and this ball bearing is going to ride along this edge, and that's going to give us a perfect replication of this curve. All of this material is going to come off, and it's going to have that nice edge. Now, normally, you might want to trim this out. I'm just going to take multiple passes and go really slow, and hope for the best. Sick. Okay, that turned out great. We just have to do this 16 more times, so we'll see you in like 2 seconds. Okay, so that was like the single biggest innovation in Shotski technology ever. The next step is going to be adding these little cutouts, and that's how we get this edge to be thin enough so we can put the rubber grommets in. So the Shotskis are 360-degree, full-on Dairy Queen Blizzard protection, roto, solidified, certified. We're changing out this router bit for this one because we're looking for the front edge to be the same thickness as this inside of this grommet. Now, before we do any more, we're gonna double check that this fits. Fits like a grommet and a Shotski. Gonna do this 8 more times, times 4. That's 334 times carry the 2. So I'll see you in like 8 seconds. One thing I really love is optimizing processes. This right here, I was able to make one template and just fucking shoot them out. So it's much less labor intensive now to make a Shotski. We're really getting close to being done. The only things we have left to do is route this outer edge, sand this, and seal it. We're ready for paint. We're probably gonna make the painting, finishing, sealing its own video because that's a whole big mess of worms that probably don't want to crawl around in sawdust. All right, that's the last one of these holes. Next step is yet another router. It's a big part of our process here at Gould Shotski Emporium and Shop. The next thing we gotta do is we have to get this edge radiused. So it'll look like this. So you see how this is a nice soft edge. Feels great to hold on. It's so smooth and lovely. We just want to touch it. That entails using yet another router bit.
this butter.
And there we have it, a finished-ish Shotski. I'm very happy with this. So that does it for this part of the video. Part 1 is done. Look at that. Lickety split, easy as pie. In the next video, we are going to show you how to get a nice, silky smooth finish. Just using a little bit of sandpaper, some wood putty. We're gonna seal this so that all your shots spilling everywhere don't ruin the wood. And we're gonna prime and paint, and we're gonna get a beautifully finished piece. And if you're lucky, I might even show you how to make a paint booth. If you don't wanna do all this yourself, we're gonna be putting these on Etsy, so save yourself some time, just buy it from me. Cut out the middleman. I guess I'm the middleman. Anyway, have a good time. We'll see you in part 2. Peace.